AHAVA blessings and welcome to this week's reading. The card that we chose that came out this morning in my practice for the week is such a beautiful, beautiful card. And so I'm consecrating the space for all of us, for me, for you, and just bringing in these holy energies of purity, of grace, of being open. And so let's just make a beautiful intention, because I am doing this recording on the full moon. And so let's make this intention of expanding into our truth, into our essence. As the card that was chosen was the Black Madonna. She is our guide for this week. And so this is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful card. And the Black Madonna has been and is a guiding force in my life for a very long time. I love going on pilgrimages, honoring the Black Madonna. I facilitated novenas, 9-day devotional journeys. I will put a link to one of these devotional journeys right below. So if you're interested in experiencing these are very powerful. And so in my handbook, I have so much information about the Black Madonna, because she has different expressions. She has this earthly expression. She has the expression, for example, of being a symbol even of Mary Magdalene and Sara Tamar. There's so many different expressions of what she means and what she is. There's a beautiful story that I love, and it's a story that happened in the Canary Islands in Tenerife, right before the onset of Christianity or Catholicism, before the Spaniards got to Tenerife. And it was about a Black Madonna that was found in the water. She was a black goddess carved out of wood, just like the Asherah, the Hebrew goddess. And the men that found her took her to the priestesses. And the priestesses did all of their work in these beautiful caves. And they took her to the priestess and said, "This is the goddess bringing us a message." And so they turned her into this beautiful goddess, made a temple for her. And this Black Madonna is still venerated to this day, right? And this is very important to understand the deep meaning, because when she appears to give us a powerful message. And so as I was meditating and receiving the different signs this morning, the message from her to us is about surrendering. And I just love this message, and it was out there everywhere. And the word surrender has so many different connotations, right? And it's probably something we've experienced surrender in a different way, each and every one of us. So what is surrender, right? It is seen as a divine feminine quality, and it is a divine feminine quality that we are here to cultivate, men and women within us, right? And to surrender doesn't mean to be submissive, to surrender to someone. It doesn't mean that. Surrender means to let go and to be open, to stop controlling, right? To stop wanting to control our life, wanting to control everything, and allowing life to happen, allowing life to flow. Surrender also means being humble. When we are in humility, we put the ego aside. And so we are in acceptance of everything that is happening in that moment. Lots of times we say, I surrendered to the Divine Mother, I surrender to Mother Earth, I surrender to Allah, which means I let go of my ego and wanting to control absolutely everything in my life, and understand that although I am infinite, because my soul is infinite, there is a certain limitation of what I can do, because sometimes we just don't have control over everything, right? And so surrendering makes life easier. And when I say it makes life easier, it doesn't mean that life is going to be easy. It makes life easier because life becomes more graceful. Life becomes more open-hearted. And so lots of times we can even imagine ourselves throwing ourselves to the earth, right? Just throwing ourselves to Mother Earth and saying, I surrender to you. And when we do that act, and this is very, very beautiful. I've done it lots of times in my pilgrimages and to my gurus when I've studied so many years in India. It's just saying, I remove my ego. I remove my ego. And I allow my soul to be. And so we're just going to look at this card again. And we know that the Black Madonna nurtures us, she sustains us, she embraces us. She is the essence of creation. She is the dark light, right? She is the one that we call upon to let go of everything we need to let go. And she receives that and recycles it. She alchemizes, right? She is the essence, the origin, the balm, the medicine. This is the Black Madonna. And so again, when we receive the Black Madonna, the messages are strong. So she is asking us, what do we need to surrender? Right? What do we need to surrender? A lot of times we are taught that the feminine surrenders, right? It's the feminine that surrenders, the woman who surrenders. But that's not true surrender. Surrendering, again, is not being submissive. Surrendering is something that we are here to cultivate, men and women, so that we can offer ourselves in purity, in essence, in grace, without the control of the ego personality, and be open to life. And when we are open to life, we allow our soul to come through us and to be expressed through us. And so the mantra that she brings to us that is connected is Hayye Bela Almin in Aramaic. Each one of the cards of the Desert Rose Oracle cards has an Aramaic mantra, Hayye Bela Almin. And this means life in infinity. Because when we surrender, life is infinite. Because there are no boundaries. Remember this, there are no boundaries, there are no limits. Because we recognize the limits of the mind and the ego, and we surrender, and then we become infinite. We are opened, right? So, Hayye Bela Almin. And we're just going to chant this together. And let's put our hands on our heart center. Hayye Bela Almin. 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 Inhale and exhale. And this is our mantra for this week. This is our work for this week. Hayye Bela Almin. And ask yourself, let us ask, all of us, what am I here to surrender this week? How can I be more in surrender? And as we allow this question to reveal, right? We're asking for revelation. We also ask the Black Madonna to be our guide this week, and we bring in the Hayye Bela Almin.